mentioned, the first and only woman inducted into Cooperstown. But, I mean, she was just really incredible in terms of the career that she was able to build. She, you know, we're seeing now Kim Ng become the first female general manager of a Major League Baseball team, and Effa did that in the 1930s and 40s. So she...
The journey to the tourney continues. Saturday in the Big 12. 15th ranked Texas Tech heads to Allen Fieldhouse to face number 23 Kansas. Coverage begins at 1:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Mike Conley is putting up like MVP caliber numbers so far. If you look at the advanced analytics, he's completely elite, a stone cold all-star for sure, and then some.
Focus and finish. That's what's on the line tonight for the Vermillion Tanagers as they get close to wrapping up the regular season with the final road trip before the postseason. They take on the Flandreau Flyers, who are 12-5 on their season and have put some of the toughest teams in Class A up to the ropes. Can Vermillion get the win tonight, or will we see an upset in Flandreau? It's time for the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profart pregame show on ESPN Radio. Good evening, welcome to Flandreau High School as we get you set for the matchup tonight between the Flandreau Flyers and the Vermillion Tanagers and boys basketball action. Now a quick reminder, as we do still have coverage of the Vermillion girls coming up a little bit later on this evening. They're taking on Irene Wakanda. The girls are wrapping up their regular season. That game can be heard tonight exclusively with Fuller Digital Solutions with their YouTube stream. The voice of the Elk Point Jefferson, Mark Krebs, will have all the action for the Vermillion girls. Again, they're wrapping up their regular season. Otherwise, next Tuesday, we'll have full coverage back with Fuller Digital Solutions and, of course, ESPN Radio. And otherwise, I'm Heath Nimke. Let's get this one set. This one is a focus and finish. Those are the first words out of my mouth tonight on this pregame show. And they were some of the first words in our conversation just the other night with head coach Jay Drake. He almost feels like the boys are going through the motions right now at this point and not really focused on what the task is at hand. Now, again, a lot to still play for as Vermillion is wrapping up the regular season. On Monday, have a chance to win the DAC-12 Conference champions outright if they can beat the Canton Seahawks. And on paper, they should easily take care of the Seahawks. But we saw it against Wagner. Maybe a little bit of a slight unfocused, easy shots in that first quarter that were missed. They began the game 12-0. They seemed like they were going to cruise to an easy victory. Now, on the final paper, it was an easy victory for the Vermillion Tanagers, but Wagner ended on their own 7-0 run to end the first quarter. It was 12-7. Now, Vermillion much more focused in that second quarter where they would outscore the Wagner Red Raiders 31-5, going on to get the victory 73-35. And it was the third time in a row now for the Vermillion boys and the fourth out of the last 5 games that they have scored 70 points or more, dating all the way back to last Tuesday where they beat Dakota Valley 79-68. And again, this has been a very tough stretch for the Vermillion boys as this will finally put the wraps on 5 games in the past 7 days. In fact, the only quote-unquote church nights that the boys get off has been those only 2 days off, including Sunday and yesterday on Wednesday. Flandreau is no rollover team whatsoever. They are 12-5 on their season, and they have switched up their schedule a little bit going into these past couple of years. They want to play more competitive. They want to focus a whole lot more on DAC-12 opponents for the Flyers, knowing that's where the competition has been the past several years in Class A. And they did exactly that, getting Del Rapids back on February the 2nd at home and winning. 79-67. 2 days later, they would put Sioux Valley, a top 5 team in Class A, up to the ropes. Sioux Valley would close out late to get the win by double digits, 62-49. But again, don't let that score fool you. However, you kind of look at the same way. Vermillion, when it comes to common opponents, that's where things get a little bit interesting. Flandreau Flyers have played Beersford twice this season, winning both times, but back on December 17th, just a 2-point win, and then on January 9th, just a 9-point win. Flandreau Flyers have lost to Garrettson in overtime. The Blue Dragons 8-10 right now on their season. And also, the Flyers lost to Madison back on the 6th of this month, 57-54. Again, Madison getting the win in overtime. So that's kind of a little interesting when you look at common opponents and when you talk about Beersford and Madison. It was close for the Tangers against the Bulldogs on Monday night before they pulled away in the second half. And the Beersford game, let's be honest, that one was never close. The closest it was when we started 0-0. But again, that's just the focus on the Vermillion Tangers, trying to end this regular season at 20-0. We heard it just the other night from head coach Jay Drake. The last time Vermillion went undefeated throughout the regular season dates back all the way to 1977. Not even the 1998 and 89 teams went undefeated with their championship. So will be interesting to see with what the Vermillion Tangers can do to finish off their season. And it's so rare when you look at the state of South Dakota and this Class A to even have a team that will finish undefeated. I believe the last time we saw a team that went undefeated in Class A, I want to say you have to go back to the year 2015 when that happened. You even talk about a couple years ago when Area Titans had such a dynamic team. They went 19-1 as they lost about midway through their season. So Vermillion has a chance to do something very, very special. And even if Vermillion can go 20-0, they still won't have a chance at locking up the #1 spot inside the region. They're going to need some help against the Dakota Valley tonight and Sioux City East. They need Sioux City East there to win to help with the seed points. But again, extra seed points for the Panthers tonight, once again taking on a Class 4A team out of the state of Iowa. Should probably check as well, maybe text a few friends and see if Sioux City East will bring out their full squad as well, just because they are getting ready for postseason here in the next few days in the state of Iowa. Otherwise, back focus here in Flandreau. Like we said, it is a big matchup for the Vermillion Tanagers, trying to defend their regular season, stay undefeated at 18-0, trying to make it to 19-0, and then play for that DAC 12 championship coming up on Monday. Again, they should get past the Canton Seahawks, and they technically should win against the Flandreau Flyers, but that's why we play every game. Coming up here on the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show, we'll catch up with head coach Jay Drake, talk about the Wednesday practice, as the boys hadn't had a practice since last Thursday, so in almost a week. What was their focus on Wednesday, plus what's the main focus when it comes to the Flandreau Flyers? Plus, we'll catch up with the head coach of Flandreau, Brendan Shepard, talk about their season so far and how they want to close out on a good note when it comes to the seed points. That's all on the way here on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com.
So what do you see in your future? Buying the perfect home with a big oak tree? Watching your child graduate from college? Or finding more time for hobbies during your retirement? Whatever your future holds, make sure you talk with the Farm Bureau Financial Services agent. Together, we'll create a plan that's right for you.
Call Farm Bureau agent Debbie Profrock in Vermillion at 605-624-3011.
It's your future. Let's protect it.
This is the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com. Stick around, Tanger fans. Something coming up special with head coach John Brooks in our extended interview. That's here in a little bit, but right now it's time to get to our other coach. It's head coach Michael Kupel of the Wagner Red Raiders, talking about a season that has been difficult, dealing with so many different pieces, but they're starting to hit their stride late at the end of the season, and they're looking to close on a high note. He is Michael Kupel of the Wagner Red Raiders. Well, Coach, talking about the end of this season, of course, it's wrapping up and get ready for regions next week. We'll talk about the Vermillion Tangers and common opponent that we saw very recently, but right now in the thick of it, inside Region 5, have a chance to get up into that 3 spot. What is your message to the girls, and what do you expect to see from your team at this late push of this season?
We've kind of been talking all year. I mean, we're very young. We have 2 seniors and a junior on our team, and the rest are sophomores, freshmen. We play a 7th grader a lot. We're just very young. Our girls are competitive. Kind of mid-season, we were struggling a little bit. One of our players was out for 8 games due to a foot injury. Well, thought we had a foot injury. It wasn't really an injury, so we lost some close games there that are kind of biting us in the butt. But right now, we really can't worry about what everybody else is doing. We just got to kind of take care of ourselves, and that's what we've been trying to preach game by game. And we've kind of been doing that here the last 3 games. So we're just hoping to continue that.
It's been talked about most recently with head coach John Brooks. He says this might be one of the most dangerous teams when you look at Class A. When it comes to record, don't let it fool you. They're very talented. How has it been working through this season, missing so many players and never really finding that rhythm until now?
Yeah, and like I said, we're just young. Our girls, our shooters especially, kind of said it, knock on wood. Like last night, we scored 4 points against Beersford in the first quarter, and then we put up 26. I mean, shooting's contagious, and, Ashlyn, the 7th grader, kind of started it off, hit a 3, and the next thing you know, we got 4 threes in the quarter, and next quarter and third quarter, we got another 4. So shooting's really contagious, and it's all about taking good shots, and that's what we're trying to teach our young girls. In the first quarter, we were rushing things. People were in our face. We weren't getting enough post touches, and once we started getting post touches, whether we were looking to score or whether we were kicking it back out, I mean, that's the thing with team basketball, and that's where our young girls got to realize that, hey, just because you're a shooter doesn't mean, hey, we got to try to get shots up. We got to incorporate everybody and pass on a few here and there, and eventually you're going to get wide open looks, and that's what happened last night, and it's kind of been happening all year on the games where we've come out on top, games where we necessarily are a little short. I mean, it's just the opposite. We're trying to force the issue. We're not getting touches where we need to get touches.
You talk about last night's game. I think I know your response, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. Of course, you get the win against Beersford, 55-43. On Saturday, Vermillion lost to Beersford, 40-32. How much are you comparing when it comes to tape, when it comes to scores, and how much do you look into that win against Beersford for your team and the loss against Beersford for Vermillion?
It's game in and game out. It's a game. That's why you play them. And I told the girls that last night in the locker room, but I said it doesn't matter. I mean, we got to go. We have to come down to Vermillion tonight, and we got to be ready to play. And granted, however it goes, I mean, if we don't show up to play, it's going to be the opposite way. I mean, they're going to get us. If we're ready to play, then we gives ourselves a chance to win, and that's all it boils down to. So you can score watch all you want, but when it boils down to it, you got to get it done. And on paper, the paper means nothing. It's the final outcome of the score on game day. So, Vermillion's going to be a challenge for us tonight. And it doesn't matter what happened to Beersford on Saturday. So, we just got to make sure we're ready to play.
You talk about post play as well. How important is it in this one when it goes against that size battle with the Tanagers?
And again, our posts not necessarily are the dominant players, but Shalane Nagel, we kind of picked her up here after Christmas, has helped us out a lot. We got players that play actually on the outside that can play inside, and that's where the tough, trying to find that chemistry of who should be in, who should be out, and but again, it's just a matter of working hard and being physical inside and catching the ball, and again, size. I know Jensen's got some size, and Herbster's got some size down inside. We're gonna need to accommodate those 2 players there, but again, we can't let them misdirect us what we're going to try to do either on offensive end.
And then there's Lexi Plitzowite as well. How much do you have to key in on her?
You look back at our game last year, and I told the girls, I said this again last night. Last year's game was a 30-second game because the whole game was you saw back and forth. We're up by 5, they're up by 4. And then you got a 30-second spurt in midway. Probably, I think there was about 2 minutes left in the third quarter. She hits 3 threes in a matter of 30 seconds. One off of our turnovers, The other one, our girl gets screened and we don't hedge it, don't help. She hits one, and I can't remember how the third one went, but it was 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. So, again, she's a good player, headsy player, knows how to control the game, gets a lot of shots open for their young players. So, she's a big part of what they do. And, we just got to try to contain her. You're not gonna stop her. You just got to try to contain them.
Yeah, definitely have to contain them. As you mentioned, the Vermillion Tangers should be a great matchup, and you get ready to play Platte Geddes at the end of the season before heading into region play. What's the final message as you go into this final week of hoops?
We've always talked about the final week. It's one and done when you get to postseason, and we try to treat this week as that. Mm-hmm. It's just another stepping stone, before we get to the final outcome. And, like Coach Brooks said, hopefully we're playing our best basketball right now. It's helped that we got Brunson back here. The last week she's got 2 games back under her belt, and just playing again with the kids.
This is the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show on ESPN 1015 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com. Again, we're in the pregame show, getting you set for the matchup tonight between the Vermillion boys taking on the Flandreau Flyers, as also the girls right now getting ready for action against the Irene Wakanda Eagles. We'll keep you up to date on scores on that one, as well as another game of interest tonight for the Vermillion boys. Dakota Valley Panthers taking on Sioux City East out of the state of Iowa when it comes to region points, and it will be very interesting. That's all we're going to talk about that for right now, because it's time for our coaches interview with head coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion boys, where we do talk more about Region 4 and how things could end up. And, of course, history is on the line tonight for the Vermillion Tangers. That's right now with head coach Jay Drake of Vermillion. Well, Coach, getting ready for the Flandreau Flyers. Big matchup with the Flyers. A very interesting team with what they provide. But I want to go back to a comment you made in our post-game interview on Tuesday evening. You said trying to keep the guys focused on the task at hand, not looking ahead to postseason play, and trying to erase the year 1989. What was practice like in these past 36 hours, getting the guys refocused for the game tonight against the Flyers?
Yeah, it was, yesterday was just good to get into the gym and have, we didn't go real hard. Obviously, when you're about to play your 5th game in 7 days, you're limited on what you can do, but it was nice just to be able to have a practice session, go for about an hour, 15 minutes.
Basketball up across the timeline, gets it over to Ludwig. Ludwig back to Hansen, now back to Ludwig.
Just work on a few things.
Back to Hansen. Hansen's going to spot up on the top of the key. She's going to
talk about an opponent. Last week, obviously, we were able to prepare for Lamar's after the DV game, but then you're turning around and, we had to shoot around and walk through to get ready for Beersford. Gave the kids Sunday off, and then you're right back at it with a walkthrough with Madison, and you turn around with Wagner. So to actually have a practice session to be able to go through some of that, and then, just kind of looking back at the past week and 4 games, and then preparing for a Flandreau team that's really got a real nice starting 5. They're not real deep on the bench, but they're starting 5 with the Lunday kid, who's a 6'4", 6'5" junior, and he was a second-team All-State player last year as a sophomore in Class A basketball. He's averaging 21 and 10 rebounds here this year. And then the LeBrun kid, who's really played well this year. And all their guys are back from last year. They're 5 starters. They play, they start 4 juniors and a senior. And, last year they were starting the 4 guys as sophomores. So these guys have been playing together as a group here for a few years. And they're a solid basketball team, and a couple weeks ago they beat Dale Rapids at home by 12, and that's a game that we know we had our hands full with Dale Rapids. So they've got our attention, and they're well coached. Unique situation. Their head coach Brendan Shepard was a college teammate of mine, so it was a game we added when Flandreau Indian decided they weren't going to have their season here with the pandemic. That we were scrambling trying to find a 20th game, and they kind of made some things happen, made a phone call, and we were able to line this thing up.
You mentioned this Flandreau team, and you talk about the Del Rapids game, and that's very impressive what the Flyers did to Del Rapids getting that 12-point victory. But at the same time, they lost to Garrettson in overtime, lost to Madison in overtime. They have played Beersford close twice. How indicative is it, these scores, and what have you seen late that makes you more scared than what you've seen maybe at the beginning of February and the beginning of the season from this Flyers team?
Yeah, I think, looking at their scores, it really looks like they're playing kind of to the level of their competition in a sense. Yeah. Del Rapids obviously was a good win. I look at a couple of their other recent games. Sioux Valley, who's got a very good basketball team, I think they lost to them by 12 or 13. But similar to what Madison did with Del Rapids and Sioux Falls Christian, it was in the single digits there in the fourth quarter for a while. DeSmit, who's ranked number 1 in Class B, we got that film, and they won by, or DeSmit won by 9, but it was a close game throughout. And so those are two very good basketball teams that they were right there in their gym playing straight up. And obviously we talked about the Del Rapids game. And I got them about a week ago in overtime. And, we played very well the other night in the second half, but, it's a 2-point game at halftime. And like anything, high school basketball games, it's a 32-minute game, but the actual whole game takes about an hour and 10 minutes, hour 15 minutes, that if you don't play well in the first half, like we did the other night against Madison, you're a half hour into the game, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a dogfight, and luckily we got some things turned around the other night. But you don't want to give teams life and confidence. And especially, we haven't played Flandreau in the past, but they've got a smaller gym, and even with a limited crowd, it can get very loud in there, and people are kind of right on top of you that we got to be ready to go.
I want to keep going off that point because you talk about Madison, a 2-point lead at halftime, and even on Tuesday with Wagner, we look at that final score and say, it's never close, running clock by halftime, but you start off 12-0, you let them into the ball game late in that first quarter, make it 12-7 after 1, and fans, I know, are starting to get a little anxious that you aren't putting ball teams away right away when they think you should be. What is the conversation you have with the guys and to the fans that do get a little anxious?
The real thing, the big thing with our guys is just kind of staying the course. And I think I talked briefly the other night. It is probably the one evil about being number 1 and undefeated and stuff is I think, sometimes people or fans or parents or whatever think that, things can be too easy or just automatic, and they expect certain things like it's just going to happen immediately. And the other part of that is that's why it's a 32-minute game, and we're going to get everyone's best shot each night right now. Teams this late in the season, Sioux Falls, Washington, and us are the lone teams in any class that are undefeated, and people would love to have that feather on their cap of knocking off the number 1 team and giving the undefeated team their first loss. So we've got to do some things better. And I did feel like, both the Madison game and Wagner game, we got off to slow starts. We got to be ready to go. And yet, it's one of those things you're just trying to put together a string of stops and doing things defensively to take the other team out of what they want to do. And offensively, sometimes it just takes a while to get into a flow and get going. And, the one thing is, it is a concern, obviously, tonight when you play. I don't care. Kids love to play, but it's not easy either when you're talking about a 5th game in 7 days. And of those 5, 4 of them are going to be on the road now. And obviously, Madison was a longer trip for us on Monday, and this is one of our longer trips here tonight. So you just got to kind of hang in there with each other, keep battling, stay focused, and if we do that, we feel we'll be in a position where we'll have a chance to win in the second half.
Should be a really great matchup against the Flandreau Flyers. We'll talk more about the boys here in just a moment, but I know you're also keeping your eye on another situation. Now, I grew up in the state of Iowa, been there for 18 years of my life before coming to South Dakota, so I'm not for sure all the history on this part. but I don't know if a team has ever gone undefeated in the region and based on the seed points still finish in second. And right now you're looking at that with Dakota Valley. They get a win tonight. You could be in that second spot. How much have you looked at that? How much are you focused on that and where postseason might come into a factor coming up the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's a real unique situation. Like you said, there is a scenario, obviously, that if we're able to win our last 2 games, that we could still end up being the second seed in our region. The crazy thing is, obviously, we'd also be probably the second seed overall in Class A, which you'd have the top 2 seeds, and this is one of those where you almost wish we had instead of the round of 16, you wish you just go into like a round of 32 or a round of 64. But it's the way it's set up, and obviously, what we've talked about with our group is we've got to take care of ourselves first. None of it matters if we don't take care of business, both tonight and then also on Monday night. If we don't do our part, we don't even have to worry about anything else because we'll put ourselves in the 2 seed no matter what. But if we do our part, and if DV does their part, getting wins, they have East, Madison, and Lennox left, then it is. It's a number crunching thing where we're both in a situation right now that it really wouldn't be in either one of our hands if we both take care of our own part by winning games. It now would come down to some of our non-common opponents. So obviously we're sitting there and you're watching some scores, you're pulling for some teams. All of a sudden we become in our situation, we become huge, Viborg, Hurley, and Wagner and Irene Wakanda fans because those teams can still get us some points with some wins if they can win a game or 2 here down the stretch. And obviously, you're pulling for some teams that are non-common opponents that DV played. So we always talk about with our guys, control the controllables, and the only thing we can control right now is us. The uncontrollables are the other games, and even though we can pull for some teams, we have no effect on those games at this point, and just gotta kind of watch and wait and see what the scores end up being.
Coming up on Monday, we'll talk more about this senior class, but as we wrap up this interview, who do you expect to have a big game from your team against the Flyers tonight?
We'll need everyone. We're in the same situation as always, that we need everyone kind of doing their part. And when we get everyone kind of chipping in and doing their part on each end of the floor, then we feel we're a pretty good basketball team. There's so much at stake still. We just got done talking just about the region seeding. But, this is one of those things tonight. Our group has a chance to win a 19th game and the school record for consecutive wins. The 1977 team won 19 in a row, and 1987 team ended up 20-2. They started 1-1, then won 19 straight, and then they lost to Lennox to go to the state tournament that year. But so we could tie the consecutive win streak record, which would be something our guys can take some pride in. And it would also put us in position, obviously, for Monday night to have a chance to go undefeated in the regular season, which would be the second time that's ever happened. 1977, they went 17-0 in the regular season. So all those things are at stake, and you're just trying to play and take some pride in what you're doing. And, the thing tonight is we don't have to win 19 in a row tonight. We have to go 1-0 tonight, and if we do that, then we're in a position where we have won our 19th, and something to be proud of for our guys.
That's head coach Jay Drake of the Vermillion boys. Again, we'll keep our eye on the Vermillion girls as they're getting ready for tip-off against the Irene Wakanda Eagles. And again, we're keeping our eye on the other Region 4 game against the Dakota Valley Panthers in Sioux City East. Who is going to come out on top of that one, and how is it going to affect the seed points? But right now, we're going to step aside on the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show. And when we come back, it's the starting lineups, and we're getting even closer to tip-off here on ESPN. It is the Farm Bureau Financial Services Debbie Profrock pregame show, as we're going to hop right into it before we get to our national anthem. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both the Flandreau Flyers and for the Vermillion Tangers. Tonight for the Flandreau Flyers, their starting lineup will be this. Number 10, Chase LeBron, the 6'4", 11 forward. Number 14, Tyron Ugetstein, the 6'1 senior guard. Number 20, Liam Strutz, the 6'2 junior guard. Number 24, Alex Anderson, the 5'11 junior guard. And number 30, Tosh Lunday, the 6'5 junior forward. For the Vermillion Tangers, it'll be number 20, Connor Saunders, the 6' senior shooting guard. Number 22, Jacob Dobney, the 6' senior small forward. Number 24, Dylan Gestring, the 6'5 senior center. Number 32, Jake Jensen, the 6'2 junior point guard. And number 50, Noah Gilbertson, the 6'3 senior power forward. And the Tangers are coached by Jay Drake. Again, Vermillion 18-0 on the season. The Flandreau Flyers are 12-5 as of right now. We're going to step aside, and when we come back, we have the opening tip between the Vermillion Tangers and the Flandreau Flyers on ESPN.
It's not just a home or a car. It's the 6 months you saved for your Ultra HD flat screen, just in time for football season. And the overtime you worked for that third car so your team can drive himself to practice. While other insurance companies just see them as a bundle or combo, State Farm agent Dick Sunday Vermillion sees your home and car as things you work really hard for. Dick understands what your things really mean to you and is here to help you give them the protection they deserve. Talk to State Farm agent Dick Sunday in Vermillion for your home and auto insurance today.
Let's be real. You make things. You grow things. You do things. You want things. And that's where we come in. We're First Bank and Trust, a community bank that understands the unique needs of our community and the people who make it great. First Bank and Trust is just the right size to make big things possible while making sure the small things never feel that way. First Bank and Trust. Real banking, real easy. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
The Vermillion Tangers put their perfect season on the line and are trying to tie 1977 for the longest winning streak in school history. As tonight, the Vermillion Tangers take on the Flandreau Flyers. The Vermillion Tangers in their away uniforms tonight, and all red with the numbers and letters that are in white. The Flandreau Flyers in their all white uniforms, that the numbers and letters are in purple outlined in gold. In action earlier, just wrapped up, the Vermillion girls get the win over Irene Wakanda, 55-53. So again, the girls get the win and they wrap up their regular season. We'll keep you up to date on another big score with Dakota Valley as they're halfway through the second quarter, right now taking on East Sioux City. As we begin the ball game, Vermillion has it along the baseline with Dylan Gestring. Gestring backing his way into low block, fade away off the glass, knocks it down, and Vermillion will begin with the first 2 points of the ball game, 2-0, 7:34 first quarter. Still in the backcourt, Flyers finally get it across the timeline with LeBron. Now they swing it all the way to that far corner with Strutz. Back to the top of the key with Ugetstein. Ugetstein back to Strutz along the baseline. They have to kick it back out to LeBron. Again, they want to shut down Lunday. Number 30 is the big player watching tonight for the Flandreau Flyers, who averages 21 a ball game. And now a pass down to the baseline feed, going to be knocked out of bounds by Jacob Dobney. It will stay with the Flandreau Flyers. 2-0, 7:09 first quarter, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Quickly getting to Lunday. He goes up through 3 different teenagers, and he's able to lay it off glass. One of the biggest guys Vermillion has seen this season. 2-2, we're a minute old into this first quarter. One of the late tip-offs to this evening of high school hoops on a Thursday. Gestring, corner 3, this one off the side of the iron, and rebounded by Lunday. They quickly work it up to Anderson. Anderson tries to save it out of bounds. It goes out of bounds as he threw it off of Saunders. It came back and hit him in the left calf. Goes out right in front of the Tanger bench. They stay out on the Flandreau Flyers. Vermillion basketball. 6:42 first quarter. We're tied 2-2 apiece. Jake Jensen hands it off to Saunders. Saunders is going to drive in. Now pull up. Throws it way too strong. Off the bank. No good. And rebounded by Chase LeBron. LeBrun. Now to Lunday. Back behind to Ugetstein. Now they work it back over to Lunday on the other corner, trying to make a pass to the far wing, stolen away by Jacob Dobney. Dobney will fake once and then go up as he gets LeBrun to jump, and Jacob Dobney easily able to score, making it 4-2. Vermillion takes back their 2-point lead. A pass that's tipped in the air but finally pulled down by Alex Anderson. Now a wing three. This one is off the mark and easily rebounded by Jake Jensen. 4-2, 5:53 first quarter. Tonight the Flandreau Flyers will also be playing kind of a spy on Jacob Dobney. Drawing that assignment will be Alex Anderson, not letting him go anywhere. Back out to Saunders. He'll shoot the three. That's what makes Vermillion so dangerous. Go ahead and take away Jacob Dobney, but Vermillion can score with their 4 other guys. They now lead it 7-2, 5:30 first quarter. Along the baseline, thrown off the side of the backboard. It's off the mark, and Vermillion quickly pulls down the rebound. Now it's up to Dobney. Dobney, fadeaway jumper. He leaves it short. Will fall into the hands of LeBrun inside the lane. Still in the backcourt as the Flyers look to get it across the timeline, but the pressure on by Vermillion. Finally carried across is Ugetstein. Ugetstein using the right-handed dribble. Kicks it over to Streitz on the near side. Liam guarded closely by the other 20, Connor Saunders. Liam now makes the pass to Lunday. He dribbles it back out. Now kick to the corner, back to Lunday. Top of the key three. This one off the mark. A battle for the rebound between Jake Jensen, Noah Gilbertson. Luckily, no one of the Flyers is around to cause any havoc, and Vermillion finally controls the basketball. It's with Noah Gilbertson in the front court. Pass to Jacob Dobney. He loses it. It was tipped, they say, by Alex Anderson. Dobney has to go chase it down. Makes a tall pass. Ball knocked around. Finally, Jake Jensen picks it up, pulls up in the lane, and knocks it down. Right now, Vermillion seems to have a little bit of luck on their side as well. 4:25, first quarter, 9-2, 7-point lead for the Tangers. Top of the key, it's controlled with Ugetstein, and he is now going to travel, trying to make the pass to the near wing, and it will be a turnover for the Flandreau Flyers. Again, if you're just tuning in, if you missed out on girls basketball action, Vermillion gets the win over Irene Wakanda, 55-53, as that one just wrapped up. Again, this one kind of got pushed a little bit behind schedule, but nonetheless, we got some high school hoops here with Fuller Digital Solutions and on ESPN Radio. Gestrine controls it. He's gone to the baseline drive, has his shot blocked, but somehow falls down with it. They're going to say a jump ball? Okay. I don't know how that could possibly be a jump ball. No one possessed it for either team. It was Gestrine who went up with the shot, had a block, came back down with it, and then a jump ball called. A timeout will be used. We'll keep it right here. Again, the other game that we're keeping an eye on tonight is Dakota Valley taking on Sioux City East out of the state of Iowa. Of course, that one interests because no matter what, with a win or a loss, it will be extra seed points for Dakota Valley. The only question is, how many seed points are they going to get? If they win, they're going to get a maximum, I believe, of 52 points, which will cause Vermillion a lot of troubles and probably knock them out of getting the number 1 spot inside Region 4, which would also mean that Vermillion would have to play in the first round of the region playoffs. No score update right now, as Pat Schultz and the crew from Metro Sports TV are in a commercial break. 9-2, 3:54 first quarter, but once we find that score, I'll make sure I pass it along to you. Now a jump ball called the opposite way as it's back into action. Flyers have it tied up with Stretz and Jake Jensen. Possession arrow favors the Tanagers this time. 9-2, 3:45 first quarter. Brought into the front court, it's Connor Saunders, who has 3 points, and now trying to hand it off to Dobney. Dobney reached in, trying to knock it away from Alex Anderson. They call a foul. Instead, though, on Connor Saunders, he picks up his first personal, and the first team foul for either team. And now a quick substitution as Alex Anderson will come out of the ball game. Sam Gassman will check in. 9-2, 3:38 first quarter. Flandreau Flyers, after they tied it up at 2-2 apiece, have let Vermillion go on a 7-0 run. They need something right now. It's inside the lane, down the low block. Contact made, spinning away from it was Chase LeBrun, but a foul called before the spin away goes against Jacob Dobney, picking up his first personal and the second team foul. And now we'll see the two usual suspects check in for the Vermillion Tanagers. Jake Jensen and Noah Gilbertson checked out. Again, that's Kale Mockler and Nick Sorensen, by the way, who just came in. 3:29, first quarter, controlled with the Flandreau Flyers. They try and make a pass to Lunday. He knocks away Nick Sorensen, then goes up with his right-handed hook shot off the glass.
And Taj Lunday has all 4 points for the Flandreau Flyers. 3:15 first quarter. Still a 5-point lead for Vermillion, 9-4. In the lane, back out to a wide open Saunders, another three. He leaves this one short, and it's going to be rebounded by the Flandreau Flyers as the student section tries to get into it a little bit. Flyers will work it back to the top of the key as they penetrated inside the perimeter. Now pass down to Lunday, but this one is going to be swapped away by Jacob Dobney. Dobney quickly all the way to the baseline, lays it with the right hand, and Jacob Dobney now has 4 points in the ball game. He leads all Tanagers. 11-4, 2:41 first quarter. Quick in the front court, the Flandreaus are trying to stay up with the pace of the Vermillion Tanagers, and that is a dangerous thing to do with this Vermillion squad. Controlling it along the near wing, is LeBron. Kick it back to the top with Gassman. Gassman guarded closely by Nick Sorensen. Sorensen all over him. Now they're going to hand it off to Ugetstein. Getstein along the baseline. Bounce pass last second in. Shot off the glass. Not going to fall. Going to be tipped around. It's going to be saved by Dylan Gestring as he saves it right back to Strutz. They hand it to Lunday, and Lunday drives in. He has now all 6 points for the Flandreau Flyers. It's 11-6. 2 minutes first quarter. Good what Lunday has been able to do, but the Flyers are going to need offensive production from someone else. Kale Mockler has it in the near corner for the Tanagers. Now pass to Dobney. Dobney, reverse layup. He knocks it down. Jacob Dobney has 6 points in the ball game. He averages, by the way, 24 points as Lunday averages 21. Now get it along the near wing to LeBron. And now contact made on Nick Sorensen as he hip checks LeBron. And Nick Sorensen will pick up his first personal foul and the third team foul. By the way, at halftime, Dakota Valley leads it over Sioux City East 37-34. In other action earlier, the Vermillion girls beat Irene Wakanda in a barn burner 55-53. Back in action here, 1:37 first quarter. It's 13-6. The Vermillion Tanagers with a 7-point lead over the Flandreau Flyers. Vermillion has a chance tonight to tie a school record of 19 consecutive wins. Last time that happened was 1977. They can still win the DAC 12 title coming up on Monday against the Canton Seahawks and also break that record. Lunday, he shoots a three. This one off the heel, but an offensive rebound. Back up is Sam Gassman, and he's able to get the first points off the bench. And the first points for the Flandreau Flyers besides Lunday. 13-8, 60 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Now a drive by Saunders, and as he makes the drive, contact made and a foul that will go against Alex Anderson, picking up his first personal and the first team foul for the Flyers. Saunders will have it along the baseline. Quickly chuck it into Dobney. Dobney drives in, trying to split a triple team, and a charge taken in the lane by Alex Anderson. And Dobney picks up his second personal and the fourth team foul. And Dylan Gestring's going to have to check back in as Dobney will take a spot on the bench. 13-8, 56 seconds remain first quarter. Flandreau Flyers playing close right now with the Vermillion Tanagers. It's controlled with Lunday. Lunday kicks it over to Strutz. Back to Lunday. Now over to the near wing. Three-pointer. Knocked down for Chase LeBron. And Chase LeBrun. LeBrun knocks down his first points of the game. Vermillion has it in the front court. Now pass back out to Saunders. Contact made as Saunders trying to pick up the loose basketball. And a foul called on Sam Gassman as he picks up his first personal and the second team foul. 13-11, 27 seconds remain first quarter. Dylan Gestring will get it into Connor Saunders. Saunders will just hold on to it as Vermillion will hold on for that last second shot at the Flyers logo, which is an airplane. Still Saunders shouting out instructions. 8 seconds now remaining. Saunders almost falls over. Now makes the bounce pass to Gestring. Gestring at the block, goes up, misses his shot. Rebound by Lunday. Lunday will not get the last second shot off. That's the end of the first quarter. Vermillion leads it by 2 against the Flandreau Flyers, 13-11. We'll step aside for 60 seconds. You're listening to Tanager Basketball on ESPN.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple, helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Back at Flandreau High School, Vermillion Tanagers, they lead it by 2 points, 13-11. And what has been a back-and-forth affair, Vermillion Tanagers have picked up a couple fouls with Jacob Dobney, and the Flyers playing Vermillion close. Vermillion, they've been able to pull away from teams, including Wagner, just the other night in this second quarter. Pass down to Lunday, and Lunday is able to lay it up. He now has 8 points in the basketball game, and we're tied once again, 13-13. Connor Saunders has it. Shoots it now over to Jake Jensen. Back to the top with Dylan Gestring. Now over to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson, the drive in the lane, pulls up, knocks it down, and Noah Gilbertson picks up his first 2 points this evening. 15-13, Vermillion back with a 2-point lead. The biggest they've had it is at 7 points twice. On the baseline, back out to the top of the key they get with Lunday. Almost loses it, spins in the lane, goes up through contact, no foul called, and then knocks over Noah Gilbertson as he slides in on his butt into the padding, but gets back up and gets back into the action. It's Jensen, now to Gilbertson at the top of the key. Gilbertson, a couple pump fakes, now shoots it over to Dylan Gestring on the far wing. Gestring back over to Gilbertson. Catch and shoot three, leaves it short. Rebounded by LeBrun. 15-13, 6:47, second quarter. The Flandreau Flyers have never had a lead in this game, but have a chance right now with Strutz along the far wing. Holding it belt high, will now kick it to the opposite side. Driving is Alex Anderson, back to the top with Lunday. Now over to Ugetstein. Ugetstein makes the pass to Strutz. Strutz the baseline drive. 7 seconds on the shot clock to Lunday. Back over to the near wing. Three-pointer. Knocks it down. Big three-pointer from Alex Anderson. And the Flandreau Flyers have a 1-point lead over the Vermillion Tanagers, 16-15, as the student section loud and proud tonight for the Flyers. It's with Dylan Gestring. He's double-teamed. Kicks it back out, top of the key to Saunders. Saunders drives in, back to Gestring. Gestring goes up, leaves it short, though, and rebounded by the Flandreau Flyers. It's Lunday who's driving, and then contact made along the hip with Connor Saunders as he picks up his second personal, the 15th foul, and head coach Jay Drake will take a timeout. We'll step aside and take a 30-second Culligan water break with them. You're listening to Tanager Basketball on ESPN along with Fuller Digital Solutions.
So we're buying a bigger home.
A 4-bedroom, but, with room to grow.
Your ocular cavity is malfunctioning.
Because we want kids.
Calculating offspring life insurance.
No, wait. We only have a cat.
Calculating farm insurance.
Is there somebody else who can help us?
Only a human who knows you can create a plan that's right for you. That's why for 80 years we've built relationships first and plans second. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Debbie Profrock in Vermillion at 605-624-3011.
Back at Flandreau High School, 16-15. The home team, the Flyers, have the lead right now over Vermillion. Vermillion in a little bit of foul trouble as well. 5 team fouls, including 2 on Connor Saunders and 2 on Jacob Dobney. It's controlled right now with the Flyers along that far wing. They kick it back to the top. Working with it is LeBrun. LeBrun drives in, puts up a little floater, can't get the fall, and a charge taken by Connor Saunders as LeBrun will be called for the foul. I thought for a sec was going to be called on Connor Saunders. It looked like he might have made a little contact with the hand of LeBrun, but again, goes the way of Vermillion this time. 3 team fouls on the Flandreau Flyers. Saunders carries the cross, the logo. Now tries to make a pass, but it's going to be stolen away by Ugetstein, and then Saunders from behind is able to poke it away, goes out of bounds along the baseline. It will stay, though, with the Flandreau Flyers. 16-15, 5:27 second quarter. And Sioux City right now, Sioux City East leads it over Dakota Valley, 39-37. But right now the Vermillion Tanagers need to take care of business here. Three-pointer, another one, knocked down for Alex Anderson. All 6 points in this second quarter from beyond the perimeter. Dylan Gestring quickly the opposite way, back out to Connor Saunders. Saunders the drive, now to Gilbertson. Gilbertson gonna hand it off to Saunders, to Jake Jensen. Jensen in the lane, back out to Dylan Gestring. He'll square up, shoot the three. He knocks it down. An answer back from Dylan Gestring with his now 5 points in the ball game. Still a 1 point lead though for the Flandreau Flyers. 19-18, 4:49 second quarter. LeBrun is gonna knock down Noah Gilbertson in the lane. And a charge taken by Noah Gilbertson. LeBrun picks up now his second quick personal foul and the fourth team foul on the Flandreau Flyers. 19-18, 4:45 second quarter. Connor Saunders brings it across the timeline, using both hands to dribble it back and forth. Now pass to Jacob Dobney. Dobney pump fakes a couple times. Will hand it over to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson in between the legs with the dribble to Saunders. To now Dylan Gestring along the near wing. Down into the lane with Dobney. Dobney, fade around, jumper, knocks it down. Jacob Dobney with 10 points now in the ball game. And Vermillion takes back a 1 point lead. They're on a 5-0 run. And now Lunday trying to get around Noah Gilbertson. And Gilbertson tried to stop his drive, commits the foul. Gilbertson picking up his first personal and the 16th4th. And the Flandreau Flyers, one of the best student sections I've heard so far this season, lets Noah know he can't do that. 4:13, second quarter, 20-19. A pass down to Lunday. It's going to be stolen away, though, by Connor Saunders. Again, Lunday has scored 6 points in the ball game, but they have all come in that first quarter. A pass out to Noah Gilbertson. It looked like it was going to go to Jake Jensen, but he went streaking into the lane, missed it, but Gilbertson there to save it. Saunders back to the top of the key with Dylan Gestring. Gestring the drive in, kick back out. Saunders catch and shoot three. He knocks it down, and Vermillion is feeling it from three-point land now as they find themselves on an 8-0 run and now back with a 4 point lead. And a pass stolen away from Dylan Gestring, and Gestring is able to draw the foul on Ugetstein. Ugetstein picking up his first personal and the fifth team foul. 23-19, 3:36 second quarter. Quick substitution as Gassman will come in, and taking a spot on the bench will be Liam Stretz. Also, Saunders will take a spot on the bench, and Nick Sorensen back into action, and along with Cale Mockler. I missed somebody. Noah Gilbertson checked as well out for the Tanagers. It's Gestring, spin the lane, throws his shot off the back of the iron and off the mark as it pops back out like a bunny. And now Lunday drives the full length. He's got to knock over Nick Sorensen, and a foul called, and it will send Lunday to the free throw line. The foul called on the Tanagers, picking up again their seventh team foul. I'm sorry, they decided not to call that one, not on Nick Sorensen, but instead on Cale Mockler. So correct my numbers there. First free throw knocked down by Lunday. And Lunday now 7 points in the ball game. It's his first point, though, of this second quarter. We're at the 3:24 mark. 23-20, second free throw. That one's knocked down as well. Lunday, 8 points in this ball game. Back to just a 2 point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. That also ended Vermillion's 8-0 run that they were on. It's down to Dylan Gestring. He has it knocked away from behind by Ugetstein. It will stay with Vermillion along the baseline. Another quick substitution. Alex Anderson is back in as Ugetstein will take a spot on the bench. Dobney will go retrieve it along that purple baseline that says Flyers across it. Get it into Jake Jensen. Jake Jensen will drive the baseline. Kick back out to a wide open Cale Mockler. Now over to Dylan Gestring. Gestring drive into the light lane and knocks it down with the right-handed floater. Gestring 7 points this evening. Back up to a 4 point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. 25-21. 2:57 second quarter. A pass down to Lunday. They're going to be stolen away by Nick Sorensen. Up to Jacob Dobney. Dobney across the timeline. Still Dobney. He's going to drive all the way in, then has it knocked away. They say no. Dobney just lost his dribble with the right hand, go out of bounds, and it will stay with be Flandreau Flyers basketball. Saunders back in as Jacob Dobney will come out. Again, Jacob so far this evening, 10 points. It's the only one of either team to hit double figures. 25-21, 2:42, second quarter. Ugestein has it with his left-handed dribble, guarded closely by Saunders. Kicks it back out to the top with Alex Anderson. Anderson to Lunday. Lunday has to find somebody else. Will hand it right behind him to Alex Anderson. Anderson using both hands to dribble. Driving the lane. He's in trouble. Back out to Lunday. Square up and shoot the three. Knock it down. Lunday hits a big three. Give him now 11 points in the ball game. It's now just a 1-point lead for the Tangers, 25-24. Saunders all the way drive. The right hand. Shot off the glass. Knocks it down. 27-24. 2:03 second quarter. And a quick moving ball game. Now down to Gassman. He's trying to find some space. Have to work it back out to that corner with Ugestein. Ugestein, he loses it in the lane. He's going to get knocked down by Jake Jensen. And then a jump ball called right outside the lane on the left side. It will be Vermillion basketball as they have the possession arrow. Ugestein out of the game. Gassman will check back in. Earlier, that was Liam Stretz, who I meant to mention. 27-24, 1:46, second quarter. Saunders with a 3-point lead, has it in the front court. Penetrates into the perimeter. Now back out to Cale Mockler. Mockler to the top of the key with Dylan Gestring. He can hit from deep land. Now to Jake Jensen over in the far corner. Jensen has to dribble it. Back out to Cale Mockler. He'll square up and shoot the three. This one off the mark. It's going to be a pass stolen away by Cale Mockler, and Cale Mockler tries to draw the contact in the lane, and he's able to do so, and he'll head to the free throw line. And a foul called, on Chase LeBrun. That is his third personal and the 6th team foul. 27-24. The student section lets the near official, I believe it's Hawaiian night for the student section, but they let the near official know that on this sunshine night for them, they don't agree with the call. And now Ugestein will come back in, and LeBrun will check out with those 3 personal fouls. Cale Mockler at the free throw line to shoot 2. We're still trying to get things figured out. Should be 2. I don't know what we're waiting around for. And now, do we have Ugestein? No, they're saying he has blood somewhere, it looks like. They're not going to let him come back into the ball game, or they're not going to let him substitute yet. They say not yet. It's 2 free throws. LeBrun has to stay in. So first one from Cale Mockler. He squares up and knocks it down. Now Ugestein can check out. LeBrun can come out. 28-24. It doesn't matter. You just have to follow the rules of basketball. That's all that one came down to. Second free throw up for Cale Mockler. Squats down once, squats down twice, throws it up, and this one is off the heel of the iron. 28-24, 1:20, second quarter. Back to a 4-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. It's controlled at the top of the key for the Flandreau Flyers. Now over to Gassman, over to the corner with Ugestein. Ugestein using the right hand, dribble it back out over to Lunday. Now they switch it from wing to wing. Back over to Lunday, but Nick Sorensen is going to jump the pass, tip it. It last touches the fingertips of Lunday as he tries to save it from going out of bounds. And Vermillion catches another lucky break, and it'll be a turnover on the Flandreau Flyers. Now under 60 seconds remaining in the ball game. 28-24. It's controlled with Cale Mockler. Mockler on the drive. Back out. Square up. Three-pointer. Bingo for Noah Gilbertson. Big three-pointer for the Tanagers. 31-24. 42 seconds. Second quarter. Ugestein down the baseline. Now to Lunday. Lunday goes up through 3 Tanagers and is able to throw it off the glass. Give him 13 points now out of the 26 for the Flandreau Flyers. That's half of them. Vermillion with the 5-point lead. Jake Jensen will hand it to Cale Mockler. Back to Jake Jensen, who has Gassman flying all in his face. The shot clock is off as Vermillion can hold for the last second shot. They want to work it back to Jake Jensen. He has it knocked away out of his hands. They say it's an over and back. Oh my goodness, an over and back as Gassman knocked it out of the hands of Jake Jensen, but they say Jake lost it. It's an over and back called. It will be Flyers basketball with 12 seconds remaining in this first half. Lunday will bring it across the Flyers logo. Guarded closely by Nick Sorensen, and a foul called on Nick Sorensen as Lunday through the left hand. It will be a 1-and-1, as that is now the second personal foul called on Nick Sorensen and the 8th team foul. So again, Lunday will shoot a 1-and-1. Head coach Jay Drake is just chewing the ear of the near official. The 1-and-1 opportunity. Lunday throws it up, knocks it down, and he'll get a second opportunity. A good reason why the Flandreau Flyers have stayed in it for so long. This is a great student section as well, and it's such a small gym. 31-27, 6.5 second quarter. Second free throw. This one's up. It's off the mark. Rebounded by Nick Sorensen to Jensen with 3 seconds. Jensen along the near wing. Pass over to Gestrin. Catch and shoot. This one left short. That is the end of the first half. Vermillion with a 4-point lead, 31-27 as we go into halftime. In other action, with the last 30 seconds ticking away in Sioux City, Dakota Valley leads it over Sioux City East 47-42. Again, the Panthers by 5 over the Raiders. All right, we'll step aside for 3 minutes, and when we come back, the first half stats, that's on the way here on ESPN, along with Fuller Digital Solutions.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Digital Solutions started a little over 6 years ago doing Facebook Live videos for a couple ball games. And little did we know we'd have the 2020 pandemic and so many reasons for doing live streams on our new YouTube channel. We have 12 schools we cover: Mississippi, South Dakota, and Iowa. And we're always growing. If you're interested in working with FDS as camera operator or play-by-play for the many sports we cover, or if you would like to use our services to live stream your event, email us at fullerdigitalsolutions@gmail.com and subscribe to Fuller Digital Solutions on YouTube.
Radio family is growing. Now you can listen to all of the Vermillion Tanagers broadcast on 2 stations, 101.5 FM and AM 1570. When the Tanagers are playing, tune in to either 101.5 FM or AM 1570 to catch the voice of the Tanagers, Keith Nimke, for every play. In addition, we invite you to listen to all of our ESPN programming. We thank you for listening and our radio sponsors that allow us to broadcast all of the Vermillion Tanager sports on ESPN, 101.5 FM and AM 1570.
Midwest Ready Mix Equipment for Vermillion. We rent out and operate dozers, excavators. We also have aerial equipment. Dave Hertz, Midwest Ready Mix. We got telehandlers, payloaders, skid loaders, just a lot of different equipment that we rent and we sell it too. And you can rent to buy. And you end up having it for 6 months. We'll give you a buyout option on that thing. Call Dave Hertz, Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment. Vermillion. Easy to work with and not hard to find.
Make space for tall items. Quickly and easily move the bins side to side for convenient storage options. The Flexi Slide Bin. Brought to you by Whirlpool.
Back at Flandreau, at the Flandreau High School at halftime between the Flandreau Flyers and the Vermillion Tanagers. Vermillion has the fans on the edge of their seats once again. We go back to Monday night, pretty similar to the halftime score. Vermillion led it over the Madison Bulldogs 31-27 at halftime in that one. Now, the Vermillion Tanagers would pull away in that third quarter and get a big win over the Madison Bulldogs. And right now at halftime, Vermillion, they lead it over the Flandreau Flyers 31-27. So again, very similar, but things seem a little bit different this time compared to Monday night against the Madison Bulldogs. Now, Madison had some great three-point shooting, but the Flandreau Flyers have a big man inside of Tasha Lunday, who has been a big piece to why Flandreau has stuck around so far in this ballgame, including 14 points so far tonight. Otherwise, it has been quiet from the rest of the Flandreau Flyers. 6 points for Alex Anderson, who got 2 open look threes, knocked them both down in that second quarter. 3 points from Chase LeBrun, who is in foul trouble, and then 2 points from Sam Gassman, who had his first 2 points back in the first quarter. For the Vermillion Tanagers, they are led away with Jacob Dobney, who has 10 points, 7 points for Dylan Gestring, 5 points for Noah Gilbertson, along with Saunders also having 8 points in the ball game, and then 2 points for Jake Jensen, and then also 1 point for Cale Mockler. But Vermillion does have to be a little bit careful, as Nick Sorensen, Jacob Dobney, and Connor Saunders have all picked up multiple fouls here in this first half. Again, LeBrun has picked up 3, otherwise 1 for Ugetstein, Alex Anderson, and also Sam Gassman. The Flandreau Flyers looking like they are in good shape right now in the foul category. It will be interesting to see what Vermillion comes out and does in this second half to avoid some early fouls, but you know you're going to have to give at least a few more against Lunday, as he's just so big, so powerful inside, and he's really been able to throw that weight around against the Vermillion Tanagers. The only other player I would consider Lunday similar to would be a kind of a Cade Ellingson from the T area Titans. The only difference is Lunday is a very, very good ball handler for the Flandreau Flyers. Maybe not as big as Cade Ellington is with the basketball. So that's kind of a little bit of a comparison to what we are seeing so far here tonight at the Flandreau High School. Again, Vermillion still perfect on the season, 18-0, ranked number 1 in Class A, trying to keep that perfect record alive and see if they can't make it 20-0. Again, tonight they have a chance to tie the school record for most consecutive wins at 19, but they have to win tonight against the Flandreau Flyers, which right now is looking like no easy task. All right, we'll step aside for 2 minutes, and when we come back, it's the second half between the Flandreau Flyers and the Vermillion Tanagers. That's on the way on ESPN.
Pump up your car, coolers, and tummy with Pump and Pack in Vermillion. Whether you're coming or going, we are here for you when you need us, with what you need. Grocery items, beer, snacks, fuel, wine, hot dogs, pizza by the slice, and now for real ice cream smoothies and shakes, cookie dough, strawberry banana, and even mocha latte. We are open when you need us 24 hours a day with what you need at Pump and Pack on West Cherry Street in Vermillion.
Vermillion Medical Clinic has an ongoing mission to provide areas with quality health care and convenient access to medical professionals. Our patients at Vermillion Medical Clinic value our dedicated primary care physicians, compassionate PAs, and consistently scheduled outreach specialty care. If you have health questions, need a screening, or have medical concerns for yourself or family members, call us for an appointment or visit VermillionMedicalClinic.com. So much care, so close to home.
Clay County Abstract and Title Company has a complex job that boils down to something very simple: helping you purchase your dream with confidence. When investing in a new home, a new site for your business, or piece of property, you want peace of mind that the property is truly yours. Clay County Abstract and Title Company has been doing just that since 1946. Clay County Abstract and Title Company, proud supporters of Vermillion activities and proud to be a part of your dreams come true.
Back at Flandreau High School right now at halftime between the Vermillion Tanagers and the Flandreau Flyers, 31-27. It's a 4-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers. A quick look around action. You probably watched this one a while ago, it seems like now, but the Vermillion girls got the win over Irene Wakanda, 55-53. Now, a few other things need to happen, but right now it looks like the Vermillion Tanagers will finish in that 3 spot of Region 4, and we'll have to see their outcome coming up next Tuesday as the region playoffs begin for the Vermillion girls again next week Tuesday, but it looks like it will likely be, actually it will be at home for the Vermillion girls. We'll have all the coverage with ESPN Radio along with Fuller Digital Solutions. And other scores right now that we're paying attention to the Vermillion boys, Sioux City East trails against Dakota Valley 55-49 right now. That one in the fourth quarter, 3:40 left to play in the ball game. It has been a low-scoring one for the Panthers, but again, right now they have the lead over Sioux City East. Again, Vermillion, they lead it by 4 at halftime, 31-27. It has been a tough one throughout. Flandreau Flyers have stuck around this entire ball game, and they won't be going anywhere as we get ready to start this second half. Vermillion comes back out in their starting 5 with Saunders, Domney, Gestring, Jensen, and Gilbertson. LeBrun, Ugetstein, Strutz, Anderson, and Lunday all back on the court for the Flandreau Flyers as they're back out in their starting 5. Lunday will begin with it. He has it ripped out of his hands by Jake Jensen over in the coffin corner. Jensen out to Noah Gilbertson, who pump fakes shooting the 3 as we're the first 20 seconds in to this second half. Saunders has it now, drives in, splits through the double team, and Saunders will hit double figures now tonight with 10 points in the ball game, and Vermillion quickly back up to a 6-point lead. The Tanagers have never led by more than 7 points. They've done it twice so far tonight. The Flyers, 3-pointer. This one is off the mark as Liam Strutz just couldn't hit it. He still has 0 points this evening. It's up to Jake Jensen. Thought about shooting the 3, decides not to. It's now turnaround jumper. This one misses everything for Jake Jensen and easily pulled down by Lunday. Lunday quickly gets it over to Strutz and work it back to the top of the key with Anderson. Now to LeBrun. LeBrun down to the block, back out, 3-pointer. This one is off the mark, but offensive rebound for Alex Anderson. Liam Strutz just cannot hit a 3-pointer right now for the Flandreau Flyers. He has it again, tries to make a pass, almost knocked away by Noah Gilbertson. Now over to the far wing, 3-pointer for Ugetstein, and finally a defensive rebound for the Vermillion Tanagers. It's Domney, pulled up at the free throw line. He shoots it off the heel and can't connect. Vermillion still holding on to a 6-point lead, 33-27, 6:20, third quarter. Ugetstein, the left-handed dribble, shoots it over to Alex Anderson. Anderson work closely against Domney. Now to Lunday under LeBrun. LeBrun throws it high off the glass and will get the fall. LeBrun, his first points since the first quarter, 5 for him in the ball game, 33-29, 6 minutes, third quarter. His first 2 minutes are already gone. Gilbertson, left-handed dribble, now gets it over to Jake Jensen. Jensen back to Gilbertson, and that far corner. A rainbow pass all the way to the near side with Gestring. Gestring penetrates inside. Now hand it back behind him to Domney. Domney pull up the free throw line. He leaves it short, but offensive rebound by Dylan Gestring. He goes back up strong, and Gestring is able to get his first points of the second half. And Vermillion keeping it at that 6-point lead, 35-29. LeBrun, jumper for him in the lane. He answers right back. Now quickly, all 4 points to LeBrun to begin this third quarter for the Flandreau Flyers, 35-31, 5:15, third quarter. It's Noah Gilbertson, has his shot blocked out of bounds by Ugetstein, but it will stay with the Vermillion Tanagers as it will be Gilbertson who will retrieve the basketball out of bounds and get it over the official. Official picks it up, gets to Saunders, and we back into Domney as we're back into action. To the top, Jake Jensen, he puts up his 3 off the mark and rebounded by Lunday. Quickly up to Ugetstein. Now to Lunday in the lane. Backing his way in against Dylan Gestring. Throws it too strong, but the putback gets it to go. Lunday now with 16 points. Again, he averages 21 of all game, 35-33, 5:47, third quarter. Connor Saunders pull up in the lane, and he's going to get whacked from behind, and will head to the free throw line. Ugetstein picks up his second personal and the first team foul on the Flandreau Flyers. 35-33, 4:45, third quarter. Saunders, first of 2. Throws up the first one and will knock it down. One nice thing for the Vermillion Tangers is they don't have to look into the student section of the Flandreau Flyers anymore. Which that student section, one of the biggest and one of the loudest I've seen all season long. And the second free throw knocked down from Connor Saunders. And now a timeout will be used by Vermillion, and head coach Jay Drake will step aside and take the Culligan water break with them. We're back in 30 seconds here on ESPN.
If you're considering a new roof, you want to put your roof in the hands of Dave's Roofing. Dave's Roofing specializes in residential roofing and has over 10 years of experience. Dave's Roofing covers any job from a 60 to 80 mile radius of Sioux City and has a 10-man crew that completes most jobs in one day. Dave's Roofing will make sure the cleanup job is done right afterwards too. And the products installed are impact rated and eligible for homeowners insurance discounts. Look up Dave's Roofing on Facebook and check out the work that's been done and customer testimonials.
Back at the Flandreau High School, 37-33, 4:45, third quarter. The Flandreau Flyers will get it back into action as we get set after the Connor Saunders free throws. Flyers have it now controlled with LeBrun. LeBrun just a pull-up three. This one's going to be left short, rebounded by Dylan Gestreen. Gestreen up to Connor Saunders. Saunders using the left-handed dribble. Will now drive down to low block. He hoops it and scores it with the scoop and score, I should say. And Connor Saunders now 6 points in this third quarter, 14 for the ball game. Saunders leads all Tanagers. Great scoop and score there. Now inside to LeBrun. LeBrun gets a little bit of separation from Noah Gilbertson. And LeBrun, 6 of the 8 points for the Flandreau Flyers in this third quarter. Keeps it still at just a 4-point lead for Vermillion. Jake Jensen, straightaway three, pump fakes, now goes to the free throw line and knocks down the jumper. He's able to get one Flyer to fly up in the air and then easily just stepped up to the free throw line and knocked down the easy 2 points. It's into Ugetstein. Ugetstein in the lane. Now back out to LeBrun. He'll shoot the three, to Lunday, and Lunday knocks down the corner three. 19 points for him now in the ball game. Dobney quickly the opposite way. 41-38, 3:25, third quarter. Dylan Gestreen over to Connor Saunders. Saunders back to the top of the key with Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson inside the lane. Wanted something else. Back up to Jake Jensen. He shoots the three. This one off the mark and rebounded by Lunday. 41-38. The Flandreau Flyers have an opportunity to either tie it or cut it to within one. Have it with LeBrun. Now they'll work it over to Ugetstein. Guard closely by Saunders. Ugetstein drives in, kicks back out. Square up three-pointer for Strutz. This one rims in and out, rebounded by Jacob Dobney. Dobney zooming into the front court. Now back out to Gestreen, to Saunders, to Jensen, wide open three. He'll stroke it, and he leaves it short. Rebounded, though, by Noah Gilbertson. Back out to Saunders. He'll shoot the three, knock it down. A big game needed for Connor Saunders as he's coming alive. 17 points for him. 44-38, 2:33, third quarter. And now a quick couple substitutions. Gilbertson and Jensen coming out. Sorensen and Cale Mockler will be in. And into a quick turnover as they'll give Vermillion right back the basketball. They give it into Dobney. Dobney misses his layup. He's still scoreless in this second quarter. And now we're going to get a technical. I believe a technical called on Jay Drake. So Jay will pick up his first technical of the season, 44-38, and it will be Flandreau basketball. They'll reset. The Flyers will have it, working it across the timeline. Again, Jay Drake, as active as he is as a coach, picks up his first technical of the season. It's controlled now with the Flandreau Flyers. Back out. He has been up all night, and usually when you see coaches pick up a technical, they'll sit down. But Coach Drake, he's not going to. Now inside the lane, wide open, lays it off the glass. Liam Stretch still can't hit. He's still scoreless on tonight, and Dobney quickly the opposite way, throws it up right before his third step comes down, and Jacob Dobney gets his first points of this second half. 46-38. It's the biggest lead for the Tangers by 8 of the ball game. 1:44, third quarter. It's controlled with Ugetstein. Now inside the lane to Lunday, but jumping in the air is Nick Sorensen. He knocks it away. Loose basketball picked up by the Vermillion Tanagers. Sacrificing the body there. Elbow jumper from Dobney. This one off the mark. Offensive rebound, Nick Sorensen. Mr. Superman right now, coming alive. 48-38, 1:20, third quarter, as Vermillion has put it by double digits, and head coach Brendan Shepard will take a timeout. 48-38, and it will be a full timeout. We'll keep it right here on ESPN, along with Fuller Digital Solutions, as the scorer will bring out his phone and clock us for 60 seconds. It's the first time I've ever seen it, and I love it. 48-38, 1:18 third quarter. Big game from Connor Saunders, and we've seen it all night that the Flandreau Flyers have focused and put a spy basically on Jacob Dobney. A spy like a linebacker watches a quarterback. They're going to be with him wherever he goes, but that's made Vermillion so unique this season. Why they are 18-0. If you take away one player, that's fine. They have another 4 that can go score. And Saunders, with 17 points in the ball game, including 9 in this third quarter, has been big. And they've also kind of shut down Lunday, as he has 19 points in the ball game, but just 5 so far in this third quarter. Again, he averages 21. 48-38. Quick check in Sioux City. Dakota Valley right now leads it over the Raiders. 62-57, 35 seconds, as Bruns is at the free throw line. Currently, back into action here. Ugetstein has it along the far side. And now we're going to get a foul away from the ball. Is this going to be called on LeBrun? Or they're going to say it was a turnover, I guess. I'm sorry, a turnover on the Flandreau Flyers. So we'll get back to Vermillion with their 10-point lead. Dobney decides not to use a Dylan Gestrine screen, and it works out for Dobney as he drives in using the left-handed layup. And Vermillion now up to that 12-point lead. As again, they've been known to pull away in third quarters when the game is close, just like they did on Monday night against Madison. They're doing it right now to the Flandreau Flyers. Ugetstein now work it over. Drive in Alex Anderson. He has his shot blocked from behind by Dylan Gestrine. It will go out of bounds. It will stay, though, with the Flyers. Gassman back into action as Bonilla will come out of the ball game for the Flyers. 50-38, 35 seconds. Quickly to Lunday, and he has it knocked out of his hands immediately by Nick Sorensen. Nick Sorensen knocked it out of the hands of Lunday as the ball went down. It went off the right toes of Lunday, and it will be Vermillion basketball on the turnover. They have gotten lucky a couple of times with awkward bounces off of Lunday for turnovers. 50-38. The shot clock is off. The Tanagers can hold for the last second shot. We're at 16 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Dobney has it at the Flyer logo. Dobney using his right hand, trying to get past the speedy Gassman. Now pull up at the free throw line. He gets knocked over, misses the shot, but he'll head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. The foul will come against Sam Gassman, picking up his second personal and the second team foul. 50-38, 7.2 third quarter. First free throw knocked down for Jacob Dobney. And Dobney will now get a second one. 15 points for him in the ball game, make it 16 as he's able to stroke it home. 52-38. 5 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Lunday drives in, puts his shot off the glass, can't get the fall. Kale Mockler on top of Lunday, and that will end the fourth quarter. And we'll the end of the third quarter. We'll head to the fourth quarter as Vermillion leads it over the Flandreau Flyers 52-38. The fourth quarter coming up in 60 seconds here on ESPN, along with Fuller Digital Solutions.
So we're buying a bigger home.
A 4-bedroom, but, with room to grow.
Your ocular cavity is malfunctioning.
Because we want kids.
Calculating offspring life insurance.
No, wait. We only have a cat.
Calculating farm insurance.
Is there somebody else who can help us?
Only a human who knows you can create a plan that's right for you. That's why for 80 years we've built relationships first and plans second. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Contact Farm Bureau Agent Debbie Profrock in Vermillion at 605-624-3011.
Digital Solutions started a little over 6 years ago doing Facebook Live videos for a couple ball games. And little did we know we'd have the 2020 pandemic and so many reasons for doing live streams on our new YouTube channel. We have 12 schools we cover: Mississippi, South Dakota, and Iowa. And we're always growing. If you're interested in working with FDS as camera operator or play-by-play for the many sports we cover, or if you would like to use our services to live stream your event, email us at fullerdigitalsolutions@gmail.com and subscribe to Fuller Digital Solutions on YouTube.
Back in Flandreau, South Dakota, right now as Vermillion begins with the fourth quarter, a fadeaway jumper as we get right back into action from Jacob Dobney. Welcome back to the action here on Fuller Digital Solutions and ESPN Radio. 54-38, 7:37 fourth quarter. It's controlled with the Flyers. A pass down to Lunday is going to be stolen away by Dylan Gestring. It's picked up by Dobney from the pass. Dobney has along the baseline. Back out to Noah Gilbertson. He pump fakes the three. Now over to Jake Jensen to Noah Gilbertson. He'll shoot the three this time. It's off the mark. It's going to be knocked around and will go out of bounds. Last touched by Dylan Gestring. Alex Anderson there to fight for it, but again, tip it away and go out of bounds. The Tanagers 18-0 on the season, 5-0 inside Region 4, 9-0 in the DAC-12, trying to tie a school record for most consecutive wins from a team. Back in 1977, that school record is at 19. And now a charge taken in the lane by Connor Saunders as Lundane was trying to drive in, make a pass back out, and Tosh Lunday will pick up his first personal and the third team foul for the Flandreau Flyers. Also, it has gone final in Sioux City. Dakota Valley takes down the Sioux City East Raiders 68-60. So that does not help Vermillion when it comes to seed points inside the region. Dylan Gestring in the lane, back into action here. He misses his shot, rebounded by the Flandreau Flyers. We'll talk more about that win coming up a little bit later on here in this post-game show. And now Shepard is getting into the ear of the official. He wants a timeout, and we'll step aside and take the Culligan water break with them. You're listening to Tanager Basketball on Fuller Digital Solutions. We're back in 30 seconds.
Radio family is growing. Now you can listen to all of the Vermillion Tanagers broadcast on two stations, 101.5 FM and AM 1570. When the Tanagers are playing, tune in to either 101.5 FM or AM 1570 to catch the voice of the Tanagers, Heath Nimke, for every play. In addition, we invite you to listen to all of our ESPN programming. We thank you for listening and our radio sponsors that allow us to broadcast all of the Vermillion Tanager sports on ESPN, 101.5 FM and AM 1570.
Back here in Flandreau, as right now the Vermillion Tanagers lead at 54-38. The Flyers have it with Lunday in the lane. He puts up his hook shot and a foul called as he went up for the shot going against the Vermillion Tanagers. A foul called on Jake Jensen. He'll pick up his first personal. The first foul on the Vermillion Tanagers. Again, 54-38, 6:31, fourth quarter. First free throw knocked down from Lunday. And with that, he now hits 20 points in the ball game. 54-39. Second free throw up and knocks this one down as well as he hits them both. 54-40. It's a 14-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers after Vermillion just had a 4-point lead at halftime. 31-27. We're really able to pull away in that third quarter. It's controlled along the baseline. Drive for Saunders underneath the hoop. He goes up strong, lays it in. Saunders scores in all quarters tonight, and now with 19 points for him in the ball game. He leads all scorers for Vermillion. Ugetstein, a quick three the opposite way, knocks it down. Kyron Ugetstein, his first points for the Flandreau Flyers. They're going to need more of that if they want to make this comeback. Trailing by 13. Saunders drives in again, throws it off the glass as he falls over, and Saunders now 21. 58-43. That is now a season high for Connor Saunders. A pass along the baseline going to be popped up in the air by Jacob Dobney, and Vermillion pulls down the loose basketball. It's Jake Jensen back out to Noah Gilbertson. Pump fakes the three a couple of times. Now over Jake in the corner. He'll shoot the three. This one off the mark. Rebounded by Lunday. Lunday quickly up into the front court to Strutz. Back out to LeBrun. LeBrun back out to Strutz. Strutz penetrates into the lane. Last second pass to LeBrun. LeBrun able to throw it off the glass as he got Jacob Dobney to jump by him. 58-45, 5:08 fourth quarter, 13-point lead for the Vermillion Tanagers, but right now has that feel that's not safe yet. Jacob Dobney, the left-handed dribble, switches it now to his right hand. Back out to Jake Jensen. Jensen over to Dylan Gestry. Vermillion with 16 seconds on the shot clock. Back over to Noah Gilbertson. Gilbertson, pull-up jumper, misses everything at the free throw line, and it will go out of bounds. And now we'll see a substitution as Nick Sorensen back into the ball game. We're calling him Mr. Superman tonight as he has sacrificed his body several different times for rebounds and deflections away from Lunday as he goes back to that defensive assignment of guarding Lunday. Right now, though, it's on the near wing with Anderson. They now work into that far wing with Lunday. Nick Sorensen all over him. Back over to the near wing with Anderson. Back to Lunday. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Lunday, pull-up jumper at the elbow. This one off the mark, and great defense by Mr. Superman. Saunders across the timeline. Now we'll switch it from his right to left hand. Down to Sorensen at the low block. Back out to Gestring. Gestring pump fakes the three, drives in, puts up his right-handed hook shot. Can't get the fall, but he is fouled on the attempt and will head to the free throw line. The foul comes against Lunday, picking up his second personal. And again, Dylan Gestring will shoot 2 free throws. He has struggled this year. 58-45. The first free throw is off the mark. An earlier action, as this game was basically tipping off, the girls' game went final. Vermillion girls got the win over Irene Wakanda, 55-53. Second free throw, this one is knocked down from Dylan Gestring. Give him now 10 points in the ball game, 59-45, 4:03 fourth quarter. Along the baseline, it's LeBrun. LeBrun trying to back his way in. He puts up the shot against the tall arms of Dylan Gestring, leaves it short off the left of the rim. It's going to be saved by Saunders as it was about to go out of bounds. He almost jumped into some Flyer fans. It's now Dobney. Dobney over to Gestring. 3 for him. He leaves this one short. It's rebounded by Alex Anderson for the Flyers. Up to LeBrun. LeBrun across the timeline. LeBrun still has it. Back out to Alex Anderson. The Flyers need to work quickly on these offensive possessions as they trail by 14, 59-45, 3:25 fourth quarter. Ugetstein almost lost the pass. Now inside the lane to LeBrun, and it's going to be Dylan Gestring who picks up a foul as he tried to jump the pass that was intended for LeBrun. Dylan Gestring will pick up his first personal, and just the second team foul on the Vermillion Tanagers of this half. Noah Gilbertson now out of the ball game, but a timeout is going to be called by head coach Jay Drake. We'll step aside and take the Culligan water break with them. We're back in 30 seconds on ESPN along with Fuller Digital Solutions.
Make space for tall items. Quickly and easily move the bins side to side for convenient storage options. The Flexi Slide Bin, brought to you by Whirlpool.
$59-45, 3:22 fourth quarter. Vermillion trying to tie a school record set back in 1977, or for most consecutive wins. That record stands at 19. If Vermillion can win tonight, they will etch their name and just the beginning of the record books for the Vermillion Tangers when it comes to this season. And they still have a chance to go perfect in the regular season on Monday against the Canton Seahawks and win the DAC 12 title. Back in action after the Culligan water break. Ugetstein has it along the far side. They kick it over to Alex Anderson. Now to Lunday along the baseline. A pass into LeBrun. Back out to Ugetstein. 22 seconds. A jumper at the elbow for him. This one's off the mark and rebounded by Jacob Dobney. The Flyers can't go too many more possessions without points, trailing by 14. But they need to make a defensive stand right now. It's Sorensen to Saunders, and Vermillion at that timeout break was told just to work the clock, and they're doing exactly that. 17 seconds on the shot clock. It's Saunders, dribble behind the back. When will the nail be officially put into this coffin? You have a feeling it's closing in quickly. It's Dobney with 5 seconds on the shot clock. Pull up in the corner, off the mark, and it's rebounded by the Flandreau Flyers. They need points on this possession. It's going to be a pass in the lane, knocked away by Jake Jensen, picked up by Connor Saunders. Saunders across the Flyer logo, 2:21 fourth quarter. The nail is not in the coffin yet, but it's about there. And let's see if Vermillion can work it all the way down once again like they did in their last offensive possession. It's Saunders. Now to Jake Jensen. Jensen, pull-up jumper at the elbow. This one's off the mark, but an offensive rebound. Dobney can't get the fall, and finally picked up by Lunday. He speeds into the front court and lays it off the glass, and good for two. Lunday with 23 points in the ballgame, and now a timeout will be called by head coach Shepard of the Flandreau Flyers. Will step aside and take the Culligan water break with them. We're back in 30 seconds on ESPN along with Fuller Digital Solutions.
Midwest Ready Mix Equipment for Vermillion. We rent out and operate dozers, excavators. We also have aerial equipment.
Dave Hertz, Midwest Ready Mix.
We got telehandlers, payloaders, skid loaders, just a lot of different equipment that we rent and we sell it too. And you can rent to buy. And you end up having it for 6 months. We'll give you a buyout option on that thing.
Call Dave Hertz, Midwest Ready Mix and Equipment. Vermillion. Easy to work with and not hard to find.
59-47. 12-point game, 1:54 fourth quarter. This has been one of the closest games the Vermillion Tangers have been in since, well, probably since last Friday against the Lamar's Bulldogs. The only difference in that one against Lamar's was no shot clock in the state of Iowa, so Vermillion could basically hold for this last 1:54. Now the Flandreau Flyers, they still have an opportunity, and they are going to bring in that full court press, and a lot of fouls left to be given for the Flyers. They've only committed 14 fouls in this second half. Quickly get it in to Jacob Dobney. Dobney is finally, a jump ball. A jump ball is going to be called. The officials have called these jump balls very interesting all night long. Possession arrow will be Flyers basketball. Couple substitution as Ugetstein will have it along the near sideline. They get into LeBrun, but it goes right through his fingertips. Oh my goodness. After the Flyers get a turnover for Vermillion, they give it right back instantly. It's Saunders who has it in the front court now for Vermillion. Hands it to Jacob Dobney. Dobney drives down to the baseline. Dobney tries to get the reverse layup, and he is fouled by Lunday. And Lunday is like, whoa, I didn't even know I fouled him there. But Dobney, he will head to the free throw line to shoot a pair. 59-47. Lunday picks up his third personal foul, the 15th foul. First free throw knocked down from Jacob Dobney. Dobney with now 19 points in the ball game. 60-47. 94 seconds remaining. Second free throw. This one is good. Jacob Dobney now 20 points. 61-47. 90 seconds remaining in the ball game. Pass along the baseline for the Flyers as they quickly get in the front court and able to lay it up and good is Liam Strutz for his first 2 points this evening. It's with Saunders now as Vermillion, they bring it into the front court, and finally a foul given by Ugetstein as he looks like smacks the jaw of Jake Jensen. Jensen rubs the jaw for just a moment. We're ready to go once again. Quick substitution made for the Flandreau Flyers as they'll switch out 2 in, 2 out. Offense for defense. 61-49, 1:16, fourth quarter. It's Dobney who has it, and finally another foul is going to be given by Ugetstein as he tried to knock it away from Jacob Dobney. And with that, it will be the 17th foul, and Vermillion will have bonus. 61-49, a 12-point lead for the Tangers. 1:13 remaining in the ball game. Again, Vermillion has a chance to tie the school record for most consecutive wins by a Vermillion basketball team, set back all the way in 1977. First free throw is knocked down for Jacob Dobney. I would put a guess out there that probably almost all of these parents might not have even been married by 1977. Second free throw. This one is good for Jacob Dobney. He has 22 points in the ball game. 63-49, 105, fourth quarter. A pass for Alex Anderson trying to work it down to Lunday. Dobney puts up both hands and will knock it out of bounds. It will stay with the Flandreau Flyers. Ugetstein has it back in action. Dribbling it in between his legs. The no-look pass over to Alex Anderson. He shoots the three. This one's off the mark. A battle for the rebound. Picked up by the Flandreau Flyers as it gets tipped back out. Top of the key, Ugetstein. Three-pointer off the mark, and it's rebounded by the Vermillion Tangers. Dobney just needs to get across the timeline. He will do so. Bounce pass to Jake Jensen. Back to Dobney. 63-49, and Vermillion is going to tie the school record for most consecutive wins. 63-49 as the final 25 seconds tick away. Now there is just 10 seconds on the shot clock, so Vermillion still has to go for a shot. Dobney will finally pull up at the free throw line and knock it down. Big shot from Jacob Dobney. The Flandreau Flyers into the front court. Over to Alex Anderson. Anderson drives in. He puts up his floater in the lane. This one is not going to fall, and Vermillion will etch their name, at least in the record books for now, with a whole lot more to come in the next few days as the Vermillion Tangers tie a record set back in 1977 for most consecutive wins. That number at 19. You can now add this class of 2021 into the books. Coming up on Monday, they have a chance to go for the DAC-12 championships. Or, excuse me, be DAC-12 champions. Right now they are co-champions, but they have a chance to win it outright and also end their season at 20-0. We are going to keep it right here with Fuller Digital Solutions as we will say goodbye to Suki Ford, but we'll still keep the camera rolling as stick around. Coming up on the First Dakota National Bank post-game show, we'll join with head coach Jay Drake. That's on the way here on ESPN along with Fuller Digital Solutions. This is the First Dakota National Bank postgame show on ESPN 101.5 AM 1570 and online at kvtk.com. Great to have you along with Fuller Digital Solutions, along with ESPN Radio. Vermillion, how about this, Tanger fans? I've been hearing it more and more lately. This season was built up to be something special this year. We knew it was going to be special, but did we expect this special? And there's still plenty more to come. Now, Vermillion, again, they now tie the most consecutive wins in school history at 19, set back in 1977. But we are still chasing a different number, and that number is 1989, as Vermillion has not been to a state tournament since that time. So again, this season, they could finish regular season at 20-0, DAC 12 champions, but if they don't make it to the state tournament, it's not a failure on the season by any means, but it would be left short, and there's still a lot to play for, as some interesting things have happened so far tonight and will make things harder for the Vermillion Tangers, or at least make it seem a little bit harder. Will it, though? We'll have to find out. Coming up here on the First Dakota National Bank postgame show, we're going to catch up with head coach Jay Drake and talk about this accomplishment for his boys and also a tough game for the Vermillion Tangers. But right now, let's take a look at the final game scoring. As first up, we'll start with the Flandreau Flyers. They were led and away with Tosh Lunday, which we expected, comes into the game averaging 21 points. He finishes with 25 this evening. LeBrun finishes with 11 points, including picking up 8 of those in the second half. Otherwise, quiet from the rest of the team. 6 points for Alex Anderson as he hit 2 big threes in that second quarter to keep it close at halftime. 3 points from Ugetstein and 2 points from Sam Gassman off the bench for the Flandreau Flyers, and that was the only scoring. For the Vermillion Tangers, they have 3 in double figures, including Jacob Dobney, who came alive late in the third quarter, hit some late free throws in the fourth quarter, finishes with 24 points on the ball game. Otherwise, Connor Saunders, one heck of a night for him as he finishes with 21 points, 10 points for Dylan Gestring, 5 points for Noah Gilbertson, all coming in that second quarter, and also 4 points for Jake Jensen, 2 points off the bench for Nick Sorensen, Mr. Superman as we pegged him for tonight, and Kale Mockler also finishes with just a free throw this evening. But again, the Vermillion Tangers, how exciting of a run has this been for the Vermillion boys? And I know I say an exciting run, but this isn't over with yet. This is even the final to the regular season, as coming up on Monday, they will put a wraps to their regular season and will play against the Canton Seahawks. It will not only wrap up Region 4 for the Vermillion boys, but also that DAC 12 teams, as Vermillion has a chance to be DAC 12 champions if they can get the win against the Canton Seahawks. And if you look on paper, I'm just going to put a perspective on paper, Vermillion should get past Canton. I believe they are 6-12 on their season. Not quite for sure if they had a ball game tonight or not. I believe they did. We'll see if we can't find a final score from them. And also, in other action that we were watching tonight, Dakota Valley beats Sioux City East. Now, I don't remember the exact record, but I want to say 52 points was up for grabs. If Dakota Valley could win that, they did. So they will now have a chance to go in front of the Vermillion Tangers inside of Region 4 play, and that will make it all the difficult for Vermillion Tangers, as it now looks like they'll have to be playing the first day, that Tuesday, of the region playoffs, as again, Dakota Valley gets the win 68-60 over Sioux City East. Now joined, as promised, here on the First Dakota National Bank postgame show with head coach Jay Drake. We'll let head coach Drake put on his headset here real quick. Otherwise, Coach Drake, one heck of a performance. We've been talking about it most recently. You can't hear anything in your headphones right now? Uh-oh, let's adjust that. How about that? Can you hear something now? You can't hear anything in the headphones? Uh-oh. Well, just a sec before we bring in head coach Jay Drake.
Got you now.
You got me now?
Yep, got you.
Okay. All right, there we go. Coach Drake, this one was not pretty at times, especially in that second quarter, when Flandreau Flyers were just trading buckets with you, what was the thought process in your mind as a coach and going through kind of these struggles with the team once again playing in another close first half?
Yeah, and one, they're a good basketball team. Give them a lot of credit. This is the 40th straight game of this starting lineup. All those juniors started last year as sophomores. The Euxine kid started as a junior, obviously. So anytime we talked with our group, probably their one weakness as a team is just their bench. They're not a real deep team, but you look at their first five, you can see why they can beat Dale Rapids. You can see why they're in games with Sioux Valley, DeSmit, and Lunday's an all-state player last year as a sophomore, second team. Physical kid, can go inside, outside. We got off to a nice start, 9-2. And then I think sometimes you think it's going to be a little easier. This small gym, it gets loud in here with limited people. But we, like anything, you're going to get their best shot. I thought third quarter was huge, just to get some separation at the end of the third quarter again. Nick Sorensen came in, did a great job on Lunday just defensively. He had a stretch in the third quarter just on the defensive end of making plays, getting his hand on some balls, and just giving us extra possessions. But overall, just a good team victory, and we needed a game like this.
Yeah, a very big performance. As you mentioned, Nick Sorensen, we called him at that third quarter, Mr. Superman, the way he was playing against Lunday and just shutting him down. Also in that first quarter, very interesting to see Connor Saunders and Jacob Dobney both get into foul trouble very quickly. How much did that make you nervous, as we really haven't seen that issue from the boys yet this year?
Right. I think it was the DV game. Connor did get a third in the first half. But both of them had two. I know Jacob got his second late first quarter. We went back to him obviously in the second. Connor got it early second quarter, and then we're just trying to. We like to have both of them out there, but obviously need to have one out there at all times. We were able to kind of buy the last 2 minutes. We took them both out the final 2 minutes of the half. Tried to just kind of patchwork our lineup. Had Jake run the point a little bit, but. Again, it's not always pretty. We talked about it, a fifth game in 7 days. We haven't been practicing at all. But looking back at it, probably maybe one of the better things for us is to have to go through kind of a game like this, grind it out, physical game, battle some adversity on both ends of the floor. So just good for our kids, and a credit to them. We told them, I think I told you, like in the pregame, you get caught once you start going 18-0, number one. I think sometimes people think it's just supposed to look a certain way, and it's not always that easy. And our guys battled through some things tonight, and the big thing, we congratulated them obviously. After the game on, we tied a school record tonight with the 1977 and 1987 teams of 19 consecutive wins, and now we'll have a chance on Monday night to try to win an outright DAC-12 conference title, and also be able to set the lone school record with the 20th consecutive win, and it would be the second team to ever go undefeated in the regular season. The 77 team went 17-0 in the regular season, and this would be the second one. So all those are up in the air, and then obviously we have to kind of play out some games and see where we are at region seeding-wise.
Yeah, definitely be interesting, as you mentioned, with that seeding. Again, if you missed out on it, Dakota Valley did beat Sioux City East tonight 68-60. I want to go back to the comment you just made with tying the records, and this has been a very special year, Coach. In your eyes, in your perspective, what has it meant to you so far, and now going into Monday to set even more records?
I'm just happy for the guys. The focus they've had. Obviously, we knew coming into the year we had a good nucleus coming back. Disappointing, obviously, the way things started off on the year with just Charlie's injury at the end of the football season. We forget about it, not Noah, but Dylan didn't practice the first couple weeks of the season. He was battling an illness and trying to get through that, and we had a lot of things that you could have kind of maybe put your heads down and say, hey, it's against the world's against us, this or that, and these guys have just battled through everything. They've stayed focused. They've shown a lot of maturity in the way they've handled things, composed. very poised. And again tonight, it's like our coaching staff said in the locker room. We've just kind of found different ways in different games, and it doesn't matter who the team is, but these guys just stick together with one another. And when you do those things, you put yourself in a position where at least maybe some good things can happen for you.
Coach, on Monday, let's go set some more records, all right?
All right, thanks, Heath.
There he is, head coach Jay Drake here on the First Dakota National Bank postgame show as we are going to conclude our time here in Flandreau on a late evening. I know it was snowing out when we got here. Not quite for sure if it's still snowing out there, but if it is, we'll make it home all right. And luckily to get this one on air as well. Kind of a unique situation when it comes to the production work behind the scenes. We've been to every high school except for Flandreau. I've had the experience of knowing what the situation was going to be like. This one was different, had a lot of internet connections or troubles at the beginning, but in the end, able to get on and see Vermillion bring home number 19, as Coach Drake mentions it, etching it into the record books. You can now put Vermillion with most consecutive wins, mark it in there, the class of 2021 in their name, and now they can break that record on Monday against the Canton Seahawks. Should be very, very exciting. That will be our next game coverage as the Vermillion boys will wrap up their regular season. And other games that went final tonight for the Vermillion girls, they get the win over Irene Wakanda. They will be the 3 seed, it looks like, inside Region 4. And it kind of be interesting towards the bottom who they will face with a few more games left to go for Beersford, Elk Point, Jefferson, Lennox, all in there of where Vermillion will exactly play. But I can tell you this much, that first game will be at home on Tuesday, and we'll have all the coverage. We'll have more details about that as well on Monday. Tanger fans, before I let you go, do want to bring one other thing to your attention. On Monday, a part of our pregame show, we're going to catch up with head coach Jay Drake and not only talk about getting ready for the Canton Seahawks, but we'll also spotlight these seniors. What have these 5 different seniors meant to this squad, not just this year, but throughout the years? That will be coming up on our pregame show Monday night. Hopefully you can tune in for that. It will be a lot of fun and having that special conversation with head coach Jay Drake. Until Monday evening, have yourself a wonderful rest of your Thursday night. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll catch you next time for Tanger Basketball on Monday night. Good night.